Angel Reese picking up right where she left off, breaking more WNBA.
It started with expectation. Angel Reese, one of the most talked about names in women's basketball, walked into the game against the New York Liberty with all eyes on her. Big name, big stage, bright lights. But what happened over the next 27 minutes wasn't just a disappointing performance. It was a historic implosion. The kind of game that gets bookmarked by fans, clipped by critics, and echoed across every corner of the internet. She didn't just struggle, she set a record, and not the kind anyone wants their name next to. 0 field goals, 8 shot attempts, all misses, 5 turnovers, 2 points from free throws, not a single made basket, not one. There's bad, then there's unforgettable. And this game was unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. The kind of performance that sends shockwaves through your locker room and shakes the foundation of fan loyalty. It wasn't just a rough night, it was the worst shooting game of Reese's professional career. And the worst part? It played out on national television. Every botched layup, every airball, every turnover, all of it in HD, in slow motion, with commentators trying to hold back disbelief as the sky collapsed around her. This wasn't just Angel's worst night. It was one of the most embarrassing team efforts in recent WNBA history. The Chicago Sky scored just 9 points in the second quarter. 9. In a professional basketball game. That's the kind of stat you'd expect from a middle school squad playing against varsity. They were outplayed, outcoached, out-everythinged. And while no one player loses a game alone, Angel Reese's performance was the headline no one could ignore. It started to unravel in one of the most jaw-dropping sequences imaginable. Reese pulled down an offensive rebound under the basket, a good hustle play, only to miss the putback. Then she grabbed her own rebound again, missed again, another rebound, another miss. 4 straight attempts under the rim, all missed, all in one sequence. The internet exploded. The replay looped again and again as fans, analysts, and even casual viewers started asking the question out loud, what is happening to Angel Reese? By halftime, the frustration on her face was impossible to miss. The body language said it all. Head down, shoulders slumped, fouls piling up, no rhythm, no confidence. And when she finally lost her temper and argued with a ref,
Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench.
She picked up a technical foul, as if the stat sheet didn't look bad enough already. 12 rebounds might look good on paper. 8 offensive boards should mean something. But not when every putback turns into another missed opportunity. What made it worse was how easily New York dissected Chicago. While Reese was flailing under the basket, the Liberty were launching threes with 0 resistance, 19 of them to be exact, a new WNBA record for most threes in a game. They moved the ball like they were running a practice drill, finding open shooters with ease. Chicago's defense didn't just break down, it disappeared. It looked like 5 players running 5 different schemes, with no connection, and certainly no clue. As the game dragged on, the broadcast tried to soften the blow. But the crowd knew. The fans at home knew. Reese was in free fall, and no one on the court, not her teammates, not her coach, seemed able to pull her out of it. The Liberty outscored Chicago 99-74. It wasn't just a blowout, it was a dismantling. And it came just days after Chicago had already suffered a 35-point beatdown from the Indiana Fever. 2 games, -60 in point differential. That's not just a slump, that's a collapse. Social media didn't wait. The game wasn't even over before the clips started trending. Memes, edits, side-by-side comparisons. One user summed it up perfectly. She rebounds like Dennis Rodman but finishes like a blindfolded toddler. Harsh? Maybe. But in sports, perception becomes reality faster than facts. And the perception right now is that Angel Reese is in over her head. Fans who once defended her began questioning her spot in the starting lineup. How do you justify 0 for 8 from the field with 5 turnovers and just 1 assist? How do you call her a point forward when she can't create offense for herself or her teammates? Coaches preach poise, but when your star player is racking up double-digit rebounds and still can't crack the scoring column, that's not poise. That's panic dressed up as hustle. Meanwhile, the Liberty were having a field day. They didn't just shoot lights out. They exposed every structural flaw in the Sky's system. The coaching, the rotations, the play calling, all of it looked outdated and outmatched. And while Reese struggled to find a rhythm, veteran players on the E. Liberty danced their way to easy buckets.
Okay, so now we've got a person standing in a room with a spotlight on them every time they play basketball.
By the time the buzzer sounded, the sky didn't just look lost. They looked defeated, disconnected, like a group of players who had no answers and maybe no belief. The brutal irony? While Chicago was breaking records for all the wrong reasons, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever were bouncing back with a revenge win that showcased exactly what Reese and her team were missing. Leadership. The Fever had lost to the Atlanta Dream earlier in the week, but instead of sulking, they studied. They adapted. They came back stronger. Clark didn't even have a big scoring night, but her presence, her decision-making, her control over the game, it lifted everyone around her. Players like Natasha Howard, Lexi Hull, and Sophie Cunningham stepped up and showed what team basketball looks like when everyone buys in. The Fever didn't just beat the Dream. They outplayed them. They out-toughed them. They outsmarted them. And most importantly, they showed resilience. That's what great teams do. They take the hit. Then they swing back harder. The difference between Indiana and Chicago right now is night and day. But the Fever trust each other. The Sky don't even seem to trust the playbook. One team is building chemistry, developing depth, and finding new ways to win. The other is spiraling. Angel Reese isn't the only problem, but when your star can't score, can't create, and can't lead, it's going to get very loud, very fast. By the time the dust settled, Chicago had tied a 10-year-old record for most missed shots from under 4 feet. Not contested mid-range jumpers, not deep threes, layups, point-blank opportunities, miss after miss, and at the center of it all was Angel Reese, racking up rebounds with no reward. What's next? That's the question. Because this isn't just a matter of confidence, it's a matter of identity. Who is Angel Reese in the WNBA? Is she a rebounding specialist who needs shooters around her? Is she a post player who just needs to work on finishing? Or is she a hype-fueled star who still hasn't figured out how to translate her college dominance into professional efficiency? Her fans still believe. Some of them. But the tone is changing. The excuses are running out. And in a league that's rapidly growing thanks to breakout stars like Clark, Boston, and Cunningham, there's only so much patience left for players who don't produce. If the Sky keep losing like this, if Reese keeps putting up goose eggs, changes will come. They always do. In the WNBA, no one is untouchable, not even rising stars. Especially not ones who make headlines for missed layups and technical fouls instead of game winners and clutch plays. Angel Reese still has time. She still has talent. But in this league, moments matter. And right now, the moment belongs to her critics. The scoreboard, the stat sheet, and the viral clips don't lie.